Dope Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's go up to the heavyweights, and for you guys, it's a big fight coming on the 22nd, and that's between Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin, right? You guys know I ain't going to be watching that one live, and the reasons why are just obvious. Because of the negotiations with him and Deontay Wilder didn't like it. And when it comes to Alexander Povetkin, I have my issues as well. I'll explain later. Now, something that was interesting from Anthony Joshua, he's been talking lately, and I'm not going to report anything he says about Deontay Wilder. I'll explain that too in a minute. But he said something about Povetkin, and I thought that was cool. He said, listen, I'm knocking him out between rounds 6 and 8. That's what's going to happen. Break him down and knock him out. And then he also added, if I ain't going to knock him out, it's going to be a beating. Right? That's how you want to hear him talk, because that's basically what's going to happen. Hence those 9-1 odds I've been talking about. It's 9-1 odds, people. So anybody, if it's the David Hayes, the Johnny Nelsons of the world, saying this is going to be a close fight, I bet you they didn't bet, Because if so, then hey, well shoot, I could win some money. But anyway, Joshua says he's going to knock the boy out between round 6 and 8. I think that's what we need to hear. I think that's his mindset going in here now. He's got to focus on this guy, but he knows if he stays tall, he's 6'6", the other guy's 6'1" or 2, right? Keeps a jab in his face and then follow that up with what he normally does. And if he gets hit by that left hook and it don't knock him out, trust me, Anthony Joshua has a dark side. And I like that part about him. Too bad. If it wasn't for this Wilder stuff, I would like the Joshua. Because I've seen that dark side against Dillian White, against Vladimir Klitschko. It's like, yeah, come on. That all you got. Anthony Joshua got some of that in him. I'm telling y'all, all that smiling. You don't knock out 20-something from 21 without that kind of dark side popping off. So that's good. But let me explain why I won't listen to anything he says now before this fight about Deontay Wilder. The same reason why I didn't want to hear anything from Sean Porter or Danny Garcia about Errol Spence before their fight. It's because you had opportunities to fight these guys. You had opportunity to fight Errol Spence, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia a long time ago. Could have. He was significant long time. I'm repeating myself to some, but that's important. So when I say the same thing about Anthony Joshua, there's no reason to say anything about Wilder right now. Anything. Because the opportunity was there to fight this man. And anybody with some sense knows it. So it's just a waste, a mute point. So that's why I'm not listening to it. I'm not reporting anything he's saying about him. After the fight, a week after the fight, he's talking about Deontay Wilder and actively going at him, giving this guy an offer that he should be, or taking the offer that he got, which is the best in the history. Then we could talk. But not right now about that. That's why. So, to my dilemma about this fight. I have a dilemma. My dilemma, you guys know I'm not watching it live, and you know the reasons. But if I were to watch it live, even when I watch it later, right? The problem with this fight is I don't know who I would be going for in this fight. You understand? Both of them need a portion of humble pie for different reasons, right? Both of them have done some things that have irked me, totally, right? Anthony Joshua right now and his team needs to be humbled in terms of, not because Anthony Joshua goes out and like a Wilder or a Tyson Fury, I'm going to knock him out and, got a big mouth and people just want their mouth closed. That's normal. If you don't like that guy, that's going to irk you with his big mouth. Close it. That's how Muhammad Ali got paid. That's how Floyd Mayweather got paid. People want to see their mouth get closed. No problem with disliking that. But when you start thinking you're better than somebody, more entitled than the next fighter that's doing exactly what you're doing, that irks me. And it should irk you. You're not entitled. I don't know. I like to keep telling you guys, when you come from the bathroom doing the number 2, how does that still work? Because that should be a humbling experience. You are a person. The stench in that room should be a reminder. But sometimes it doesn't. So that's why that would bother me. He needs to be, humble a little bit. Like, I'm not supposed to be making 85%, other people make 15 and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And 60-40%, I'm worth more than everyone around. That quick, right? And even knowing the circumstances of the titles that he has won. The circumstances, the WBA. See, when you know all these things, right? It shouldn't even, WBA should be Ortiz versus whoever was going to step to Ortiz. That should be the WBA champion. Shouldn't be like, oh, Vladimir Klitschko asked for them to add that championship too, and everybody kicks Ortiz to the curb, and now to the day still won't fight him. When you know that, how can you just ignore that? I can't, right? So that's a title. In the WBO title with Joseph Parker, right? We know Deontay Wilder tried to fight him first. Joseph Parker's team will tell you this, because Joseph Parker's team, they don't lie. Those are some straight up guys, especially his coach, right? They will tell you, hey, Deontay's a little bit dangerous. We thought Wilder was the easier touch. The Joshua was the easier touch than Wilder. We want to do that. And first they said we're gonna fight Huey Fury, but then that was what happened. They could have fought Wilder as well. All right, that didn't happen. Right? So when you know those things, then your titles, you have them, you had to beat people to beat them, but the other guy was there and people did not want to deal with that person. Right? So that should be weighed into the negotiation, but whatever. And that's just Anthony Joshua. So when you talk about Povetkin, the two-time doper, right? Got Deontay Wilder all in England training to go to Russia. Then he's doped. Then all of a sudden, they reinstate him to WBA, right? Fight somebody else. No, that was for the WBC title. Then he's about to fight Bermane Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne's in Russia at the weigh-in. Who's doped? Povetkin. Was able to fly Duhaupas in within 24 hours of finding out that Bermane Stiverne was doped. Which means they knew that was going to happen. If they get caught, we get caught, and we're ready. We got a plan B ready. You don't have a plan B ready in 24 hours like that unless you don't know something is up. When you see those things, they're glaring. And now he is in the position to be mandatory. And his promoter, Ryabinski, has no remorse for any of this. So seeing it over time, I would hate to have to watch Alexander Povetkin versus Anthony Joshua and actually go for Alexander Povetkin against this young brother. I would hate to have to do that. But that would probably be the case right now because Anthony Joshua's transgressions are fresher, in my opinion. Right? So I don't want to have to watch that and be going for Povetkin versus him. Because I haven't seen Povetkin really actually say, hey, I'm sorry about what I did. I'm going to pick it up and let's go. Because, see, actually, I would want to go for Povetkin right now. Because first, he's smaller. He's older. Not as respected as much. So, actually, when I'm indifferent, and I'm bored, this is when I'm indifferent on, then I go for the underdog. Underdog be Povetkin. I'll be in that fight going for Povetkin. And I don't like to do that. I didn't go for, I went for Vladimir Klitschko versus Joshua. Actually, everybody else, okay, I'm going for Joshua. But Vladimir Klitschko, I've never went for Vladimir Klitschko because he was never the underdog. I like Vladimir Klitschko and the way he is, outside the ring, and that he's not, he's stand-up guy, things like that, cordial, knows how to act, those things. That was all cool, right? But I didn't go for him because he wasn't never the underdog. I didn't know I was going for him that much against Joshua. Until he had Joshua down, I jumped up screaming at the TV. Damn, I'm going for Vladimir. It hit me, right? That's when it hit me. But he was kind of the underdog in that fight. So that's what happens. When I'm indifferent, it goes for the underdog. And so that's my dilemma. That's why I'm not watching. That's not exactly why I'm not watching. I'm not watching because it's just wrong for a whole lot of reasons. But it's a heavyweight clash. You guys enjoy yourself. I will watch it eventually. Probably, a couple hours later because I can't wait. But I've already made my decision. So it's on like that. But back to the top. That's my dilemma. But the other point is this. Anthony Joshua says, your boy Povetkin is going down between rounds 6 and rounds 8. And that's what I'm talking about. At least that's a statement. Dope Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.